How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Down to Earth with me, Kristian Harloff. I know you missed me. I'm sorry. Yesterday was a busy day, but I should be back on schedule now. As you see, we're trying to get the new studio in order. So you don't want to hear about that. You're here because we're talking about UAP news stories Monday through Friday. And we just talked about it on UAP Tuesday, talked about Shawn Kirkpatrick, and we had the response from Brandon Fugal, who talked about what was going on with that whole meeting with Skinwalker Ranch. And there's been tons and tons of coverage on this guy, the guy who used to run AARO, that there are a lot of people going, he's not telling the truth. And you're like, well, what do you mean? We don't know he's not telling the truth. We just want him to not be telling the truth. How do we know? And then the Brandon Fugal thing happened. You're like, well, he said he wasn't in the room. Sure does look like him. Says he wasn't briefed on Skinwalker Ranch, rather. Certainly seems like that was the case. You know, maybe he messed up. Maybe he didn't mean to lie. Well, he did it again. That's right. So check this out. This is. I don't know what it is except to say he can't keep track of what's going on. Listen to this.
That's a pretty stunning error on NASA's part, I think.
Well,
planes don't fly in vacuums, right?
I haven't looked at NASA's analysis.
You have not looked at NASA's analysis. Okay.
Where I left that with AARO was to take the analysis from NASA, double checks everybody, and then put that out.
I haven't looked at NASA's analysis.
Where I left that with AARO was to take the analysis from NASA, double checks everybody, and then put that out.
All right. So, I mean, of course, you can say, "Oh, well, what I meant to say was this," and I misspoke. What I meant to say was, and that's probably what happened. We haven't heard a peep from this guy since the Brandon Fugal thing. At least that's what I think. I haven't heard anything. We tried when Attack Peter was on the other day. We tried to find something. We couldn't find anything, any response at all. Well, here's another one that he's going to have to respond to after that. He says he hadn't seen it, hadn't seen the footage at all, and then they pulled back footage from March to where it's exactly what he said he saw. So what the hell's the deal with this guy? Well, I'm going to talk to Pavl. Pavl, how are you?
Hey, Kristian. How you doing, man?
It's good to see you, man. So this is it's again with this guy. I mean, he just keeps getting caught in it. And I don't know. First of all, let me ask you the question. Has he responded at all since any of this stuff went down?
No, I think I'm going to call him Shawn, because when doctors become doctors, whether it's a PhD or a medical doctor, they do an oath to be true to the profession. And this guy has been lying through his teeth
left and right.
So I'm going to call him Shawn. I don't think he cares, to be honest with you, about any of this. The reading that I have of this is that he was already on his way out, and then he was given this assignment, and he clearly doesn't care about the UFO topic. Whether he's a disinformation agent or not remains to be seen, but at least he's being incompetent with his job. And I find it really funny that one of the people who commented on my channel, because I did this part of this, one of the videos yesterday, I covered it. They corrected me because I said that he took a job at Oak Ridge National Labs after he left AARO. And this person corrected me.
He got the job during it.
He got it during.
Yeah.
So he violated federal law.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's been out. Yeah. That was one of the main things with him, is that he took the job before he was even out the door.
Yeah. And he's been doing this media tour. I just saw that he really didn't care about lying anymore. And I don't know. I don't think he's going to respond, to be honest with you. I just think he doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, and it's one of these other things, man, where I think what it turns out to be is that he is told, this is what you say. You say this, you keep your cushy job, you do what you have to do, and you say what we want you to say. We're going to have a handler for you when you do these tours. Hey, you messed up. Brandon Fugal called you out. Don't do any more interviews anymore. That's it. Hey, they keep catching me in lies. What do I do now? Nothing. Hide. Don't talk about anything. And that's it. You're not going to hear from this guy, and you don't need to, because he's not running AARO anymore. But the question is, this is more so the problem, I think, is if this guy was running AARO, if this was the guy that was running it, and he was essentially just a puppet for them and did what he was supposed to do and played the way that he was supposed to play, Who's to say the next person that's in there right now is not going to do the exact same thing?
Yeah. And it's at this point, AARO, I consider it a monolith,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because if Susan Goff is still there, she's one of the main responsible people who has been uh, preventing, for example, News Nation to go in there, or Matt Laszlo to go in there, and just allowing the media outlets that they want in there
Mhm.
so they can push their narrative. So I think that I think Arrow should be disbanded and something new needs to be created with people who are more objective and credible.
I
But that
don't.
won't happen.
That's like Lucasfilm not going to be sold to Apple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. I know. I'm with you, because it's like it's like this is the team that's fighting for you. Like, no, they're not. They're clearly not. It's like, but this is the guy who's trying to find the information for you. No, he's not. He's lying. He's lied so many different times. You know, he's not there anymore. But like, that was the guy that you told us he had our best interest out. That was what he was doing. He was there to find out the truth for us. No, he wasn't. Like you said, he didn't care. He didn't want to be there, and he wanted to do something else. And he's probably so sick and tired of everybody coming after him because he's caught in lies like this, and yet he has to do it because it's the deal that he made with the devil. You know what I mean? It's like he's got to do it. So he can't he can't out of nowhere. Look at Shawn Kirkpatrick on, if you can try to feel bad for him, if you can try. Here's the deal that he makes, and he's doing it to protect his family, we'll say, and he's doing it to have this job and to be protected and to have money forever. And as we've mentioned many times over, people who speak out against that crew, they're not very well protected, and there's no funds to really support them overall. What's his incentive to say, nah, you're right, I was been lying? What's his incentive? Like, where he's so far down the rabbit hole, what is his incentive, and what does he benefit by saying, yeah, I lied? Like, that he's in a really horrible place right now because he's told so many that who's gonna protect him?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me, because accepting that he lied means that the people who were handling him are now out, ousted. So what's going to happen now? Because, it surprised me to see that Marek was speaking to him, because Marek, we know the type of columns he writes for The Hill. So he's super pro disclosure government.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be on the DOD. It took me by surprise, to be honest with you. I was like, Kirkpatrick agreed to this?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
And that was July, yeah, for him to do it. I mean, and that was did he, because that happened in July. Did he ask him about the meeting with Brandon Fugal?
No. Well,
how do you not ask him
the interview is not out yet.
Oh.
Marek just put out some clips. The interview is coming out later today, the full one.
So why is Shawn Kirkpatrick still doing interviews? I
don't know.
Just retire to the Bahamas, man. You're just like, nothing's gonna go well for you right now with this
Dude,
stuff. But
and if Marek put out these two clips, I don't know what else is gonna come out. We could potentially be looking at Kirkpatrick flipping.
Nah. I remember that there was that report that came out. It was a BS report, but it said that that's exactly what he was doing. But that's my point, Pavl. Is that what is he? Who protects him now if he flips? Who protects him? Why? What's his incentive now to flip? Considering he's so down that the dark side, if you will. Who's protecting him? If he's
maybe the pro disclosure people.
Do you think they would? No, at this point.
If he does flip and he has info that he can share,
sure,
that is sensitive,
sure,
of course.
I guess. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But look, Pavl, thank you. There's more to this story. I'm sure we'll find out more. As you said, the interview drops a lot more stuff. But
another part that I think it's important to note, though, before we leave, is that Shawn Kirkpatrick confessed in one of these clips that he was the one, AARO were the ones who prevented the UAPDA to pass in November and December. And I think that's very important because Brandon Fugal and Travis Taylor talked about this, that they opposed for the UAPDA to pass, and people blamed them for it. But Kirkpatrick confessed that it was AARO who prevented for the UAPDA to pass with the eminent domain part and all the other parts that didn't pass.
Makes a lot of sense, and I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
too confused about that. All right, Pavl, thank you. We'll see you back here soon.
Take care, man.
So this isn't like a big shocking story. It's just another one of the I just think for people who are like, well, wait, let's hear more about Kirkpatrick. It's like, I don't think we should anymore. I think this is 2 times that we've seen he's full of it. And 2 times. He knows that he's not supposed to say things, so he tries to back things up. For some reason, they still let him do interviews. I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, and I don't think you do either at this point. I don't think anybody does, but the overall side, the general public doesn't know who Shawn Kirkpatrick is. What they'll know down the line eventually is the people that were in charge of it, the millions of Shawn Kirkpatricks, or I guess hundreds of Shawn Kirkpatricks that have been in line during all of this for the last 70, 80 years, whatever it might be. This is what they're programmed to do, and that's what it is. So as I said, it's not even so much like that I look at Shawn Kirkpatrick and say, look at this dude. This is just a bad dude. This is a guy that got into bed with the wrong people, man. And he chose it. It was his choices, and I think bad choices for what he's doing overall. Because in this, I can say that I think confidently now after seeing these 2 clips with Brandon Fugal and this particular clip where he said he didn't have the footage, and then he contradicted himself months beforehand. So it's just, this is the frustration that comes out of it, because you get so many people like this that are out there trying to prevent it, and you don't know who to trust. You don't know, and there are just as many people on the positive disclosure side of it that are opportunists, and that are people that want to do things just to get the spotlight put on them. And you're like, well, and then there's other people who just want the headlines and stuff, and maybe are making up stuff. So you don't know who to trust at this point. It's one of the most frustrating things ever, especially when you really start to think of what's at hand, or what could be at hand, and what the real information is. But, oh well. We'll have to get some more information soon, but I hope you join me here as I do each and every week on this show, every day, Monday through Friday, rather, talk about the stuff going on in the world of the UAP phenomenon. So hit that button, subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 30,000 subscribers. I also will tell you this, that if you want to help out the channel, you want to support us for what we're doing here too, check out our sponsors. I'm going to tell you about Factor right now. Here you go. Hey guys, thanks for watching the show. Really appreciate you being here, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear about somebody I love, and that's Factor. Factor, to me, the meals are just delicious. And with sunny days here, fueling up with Factor is there's no prep, there's no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus. Factory's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, and they're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always find time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. I cannot tell you guys, we have been working on this studio. We have been doing stuff, and Brett, who is here, if you don't know Brett is one of the best. He's a producer, and he works on this studio, and he's gotten it looking really, really good. Well, Brett gets hungry. I said, Brett, guess what? I got some good meals for you, and we got Factor. And Brett's been most energy I've seen him running around because he's been eating well with Factor. If 35 meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, and you'll always have new flavors to explore. You got to treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. So if you head to factormeals.com/DTE50, you use that code DTE50, you'll get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code DTE50 at factormeals.com/DTE50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while subscription is active. Get it. You'll thank me for it. I appreciate it.